Welcome back to the channel. This is my beginner filmmaking kit. So this year I want to change a lot, not just on this channel, but in my whole photography spectrum and filmmaking in general. And I've set a few goals I want to reach. I want my portfolio this year to be the best it's ever been, not just for photography, but I also want to get into filmmaking. Which is why this year I want to make some short films about interesting people and locations. I also want to host my first ever photography workshop. And above all, I want to step into the world of adventure photography, adventure filmmaking. I just want to do things I've never done before. But they're all videos for different days. Today I want to show you my basic filmmaking setup and why I've chose them. So I guess the first thing we need to talk about is the camera I've decided to purchase, and that's the Fujifilm Xt2. Unfortunately, I can't show you right now because it's being filmed on the camera, but I'd like to just talk about why I've decided to go for the Xt2 rather than say the X-H1 or the Xt3 that's recently been released. So first of all, the price on the Fuji Xt2 has dropped dramatically. Obviously, newer cameras have came out, so the older ones have to drop in price. That's a big plus for me. Also, Fujifilm decided to make a crazy update for the Fujifilm Xt2, and that's giving it now slow motion capabilities and internal f-log. And I was thinking, wow, that's just absolutely super dope. It fits my needs as a filmmaker and fits my needs as a photographer. So that's why I've decided to go for the Xt2. So I decided to also purchase the grip that comes with the camera. This gives me a lot more grip, right? And it gives me a lot more stability when I'm moving around like that. And I've noticed that straight away as soon as I put it on. Essentially, the grip on the Xt2 isn't what I'm kind of used to. So having that battery grip attached to it gives me a lot more stabilized and sturdy feel to it. It's also weather sealed, the camera itself and the grip is weather sealed as well. And what I love about this grip is a lot of the other grips I had back in the day. I'll show you one right now. So this is the grips that I've always been used to. It's got the typical 2 internal batteries inside here. If I can get it out. Lord, that's a bit stiff. Yeah, you got your 2 internal batteries inside here, and then we've got this stem here that goes inside the camera. So really you only get 2 batteries. What I love about the Fujifilm's grip is I've decided to put 2 batteries internally and then done away with this top part. So you just screw it into the bottom and then you have an internal battery. So you have 3 batteries connected to your camera at once, which should give you 3 times the extended life. Now, another reason why I purchased the battery grip, I hope this sun isn't too much. So yeah, another reason why I purchased the battery grip is because I need to monitor my audio, and unfortunately Fujifilm didn't decide to put an audio jack on the side of the camera itself. For some reason they had to stick that on the grip, but oh well. Weirdness. Also, the grip extends my video, so I think at the moment the camera records internally like 9 or 10 minutes. I think it's 10 minutes internally on 4K. I think it's a little bit longer on 1080p. I'm not too sure, but when I put the grip in there, I think it extends both of those videos to half an hour. I think, or the other way around. I don't know. So you guys know that I'm fresh, I'm brand new to this filmmaking world. I don't know much about it at the moment, so I'm here to just try and learn. So if you guys know any tips and everything, you can try and help me out as we go along. So let's move on to audio, right? So I decided to purchase a tiny little microphone I saw a lot of people using, and that was the Video Mic Pro, I think by Rode. Tiny little microphone. Awesome thing is it's powered by just the camera itself. So you grab the cable, you put it in the side of the microphone slot, and then you power it up and you're ready to go every single time. Now I used to use the Rode Video Mic Pro, the original one. It's like super long and it used to stick out a lot on the camera. Great sound, the sound was awesome, but the problem is a lot of the time I used to forget that thing was recording. So, I used to forget that thing was even switched on. So a lot of times I'll be recording and like, woof, and that was the best take I ever did. And then suddenly I play it back and I'm like, oh, the audio's really low, turn it up. There's no audio because I've completely forgot to switch the microphone on. And oh man, does that get you stressed. And then when you come to make the next take, it was never as good as that original take. Nowadays, I don't have to worry about that because the microphone is constantly on. And that's the microphone that I'm actually using to record this video right now. That's why I'm not showing you. There it is. Right there. So next up is lenses, adapters, and filters. Now I actually only own 1 lens for my Fuji at the moment, and that's a kit lens. I don't know what it is, but I've always done that. If I buy a brand new camera, I have to get a certain amount of quality shots with the kit lens before I decide to upgrade to another lens. So that's the stage I'm at the moment. I want to try and do as many shoots and make them look as professional as possible using the kit lens. And then once I feel comfortable with the camera and solid, then I'll decide to start moving on to different lenses. I feel like if I jump too early, I've missed getting used to the camera and like finding its faults and its flaws, you know what I mean? So yeah, having one lens always helps me. I advise you guys to do that if you want to do that as well. It'll get you used to your camera before you go and jumping off to all loads of different things. But yeah, the kit lens normally gets you a good place to start. I've also now got an adapter. This is from a company called Fujifilm. Jeez, I've never heard of that before. So some cheap Chinese thing. I think it was about £6 or something on the internet. But what that allows me to do is to adapt my Minolta lenses. You know, my favorite lens. If you're new to the channel, you probably don't know what this lens yet, but this is a lens I talk about a lot. And it allows me to adapt my Minolta lenses onto the Fuji. These are all obviously manual lenses. There's no electronics, but that's pretty cool. So I have my Minolta 50mm and I have a 24mm. So I have three lenses really. I have my kit lens, a 50mm and a 24mm. But it's a crop sensor, remember, so this is probably like an 85 or something. This 24 would be something like a 38 or something, I don't know. And then I got the 18 to 55. So one more adapter that I have, and I love to use this adapter, is this little thing here. And that is simply just a macro, and that is simply just a macro attachment that you screw onto the end of your lens. Now, obviously a lot of people use that for macro photography, but I've also found it amazing for filmmaking and stuff like that when you're trying to get those intimate, super close details. I'll show you what I mean. Let me come to the camera right now. Hopefully it focuses and you can see the details on my hands. If that didn't work, I apologize. I'll probably place some of that stuff here on my left shoulder. So that's the lenses and the adapters that I use, and here's some of the filters. I like to use a variable ND filter, and I've got this one here from K&F Concept, which is a company I've actually started to really like their gear, and I've been using their neutral variable ND filter. And this one's pretty cool because it locks at its maximum, it locks at its minimum. So you're not always just spinning it all the way around trying to figure out when it's dark and when it's light. It's pretty cool. Also, this is apparently it's got some sort of nano X coating on it, which apparently reduces the vignetting in the corners, you know, around the edges, sorry. And apparently because of the way it's coated, I can use a circular polarizer filter on this as well, and they should work together. Normally what happens when you get an ND filter and a circular polarizer and you basically put them together, you get a big black X coming up on the lens because they're canceling each other out, something like that. And finally, the one last filter I want to show you is this filter here. You might be thinking, what is that? Just some piece of glass or something. So this, I'm not sure what this is actually called, but it's like a softener. What it does is it just softens that digital image that we always seem to get on our cameras nowadays. Cameras are so sharp, especially in 4K, that they're a bit too sharp. So if I want something to look a bit more filmic or a bit more cinematic, I'll slot this in the front, just how you would with your normal ND and stuff like that, and it gives it a softer image. Let me just put that in front of the lens right now, back and forth, so you can see how it goes. It's so subtle, so pay close attention. Okay, so normal with the filter, without the filter, with the filter, without the filter, with the filter. I bet you guys couldn't tell a difference there, but I will do a whole video about these kind of filters and how they make your videos look a lot more cinematic, or if you want to try and use them for a retro effect to get more of like an 80s look or something like that. Right, so that's the lenses, adapters and filters. Okay, so the final accessory I've bought for filmmaking is stabilization. In particular, I've bought the Xeon Crane 2, I think it's called, and there's no point banging on about the specs of this. You guys have seen this everywhere. It's very popular, but I managed to get this for a stupidly cheap price. I found this website called tobydeals.co.uk, and on there I think they were selling it for just over £300. I think it was like £310 they were selling it for. And man, that's a whole story in itself, right? That was a whole scary experience, because at first I thought, oh, it's from the UK, so it's nice and cheap. Then I found out it's coming from China, and then when my package tracking number was coming through, it was coming from another part of America or something like that, or it had to go through America to get to England, which is so weird and backwards. But anyway, I thought I was gonna arrive and it's gonna be a knockoff, but this thing came through literally about 5 days later, and it was, as you would expect, pretty damn decent. So yeah, the stabilizer will just give me awesome stabilized footage, and I need that with the Xt2 because it doesn't have embodied stabilization, so having this will give me a little bit more of a cinematic feel. And the great thing about this is it can carry the weight of the Xt2 with the microphone, with the lens, and with the grip. It gets heavy after that, but it can comfortably carry it, and I've tried a few tests running around with it and it's perfect. So yeah, that's my stabilization. Okay, so I guess that's my basic starter kit. And if there's any filmmakers out there that's watching this channel and want to help me out, please link me to any kind of tutorials or just give me some advice in the comments below, because I'm new to this. You guys are probably new to this as well, so it's good for us all to learn as well. So anybody, just jump in the comments. Let us all know some things that maybe I should purchase or things I should know about in the camera. Like, there was one thing that actually I came across on the Fujifilm camera, which I haven't actually found out how to do yet, and that's how to lock the white balance. Now, I saw it on a video somewhere, but I just can't find it again. You can press one button and it'll lock whatever white balance you had there and then for that scene. And yeah, if you guys know how to do that, please leave that in the comments, because I've been struggling to try and find that in the features somewhere. So I'm fine anyway, I can just use the normal Kelvin thing, but you know, it's nice to know something else. So I guess that's this video. I hope it wasn't too long. I'm hoping for it to be a short 5-minute one, but if it's longer than that, I apologize if it was boring. I hope it wasn't too boring, and I hope you guys learned something from it. And that's it. I guess all that's left to do is to do what those YouTubers tell you to do, and that's to subscribe and like. And actually, you know what? You should actually hit the bell icon, because a lot of you probably won't be receiving notifications that I've put videos online. There's so many videos I put online and people don't realize I've actually done it. And people have said to me, oh, you stopped doing YouTube. I haven't stopped doing YouTube, it's just YouTube has stopped pushing me out there. So hit the bell icon and then you'll be notified when my videos just come out. So that's it. Catch you guys next time.